For decades, automakers promised affordable cars for everyone. Today, the average new vehicle price has soared past $46,000, and the so-called best deals always seem to slip through the fingers of people like us, while they cash in. This September, something snapped. Honda's offering a $0 per month lease on a brand new Prologue SUV, but only if you pay $3,799 upfront and live in the right state. Volkswagen, Hyundai, Jeep. Suddenly, wild offers and hidden catches are everywhere. Why are desperate deals popping up now? And how did the everyday driver get cornered into this affordability crisis? The truth behind the cheapest cars of September 2025 isn't what you've been told, and what happens next could change how you shop forever. Sticker shock isn't just a headline. It's the reality every car shopper faces the moment they step onto a lot in 2025. The average price for a new car this September sits at $46,111. That's not a luxury badge or a loaded pickup. That's the middle of the market. 20 years ago, the typical new car cost under $29,000, even after adjusting for inflation. Now, the price has jumped by more than $17,000, and it's not because every car is a high-end model. The truth is, those entry-level trims, the simple sedans and workhorse compacts, have nearly vanished. Automakers cut them, bundled features, and pushed buyers toward bigger, pricier SUVs and crossovers. It's not just the sticker that stings. Financing a car has become a whole new headache. Average loan rates have soared to nearly 8% for many buyers, up from around 4% just a few years back. For the average Joe, that means a basic new car can cost more than $750 a month just to drive off the lot. Subprime borrowers face rates above 11%. The numbers are brutal. A car that would have cost $350 a month in 2015 now eats up double that, even before insurance, taxes, or fees. Industry experts say this squeeze isn't an accident. Automakers chased short-term wins, not consumer loyalty, says Mark Gillies from J.D. Power. The shift to high-profit SUVs and the disappearance of true base models left working families scrambling. It's not just a few dollars, it's the difference between owning a car and walking away empty-handed. Buyers feel the pressure. One shopper, Maria from Ohio, put it simply, "I used to buy a new Civic every 6 years. Now, I can't even get a base model without a touchscreen, heated seats, and a payment that's bigger than my rent." Dealers know it too. They see the look on customers' faces when the numbers come up. Shock, frustration, sometimes even anger. Leasing used to be the escape hatch. But as prices climbed and rates followed, even leases turned slippery. The deals that sound too good to be true often come with fine print, state restrictions, or big upfront costs. The average lease payment is up nearly 30% since 2020. For many, it feels like the system is rigged. The result? The gap between what automakers promise and what buyers can actually afford has never been wider. The old dream, drive a new car every few years, keep payments low, stay ahead of repairs, is now out of reach for millions. The numbers don't lie. The affordable car is on life support, and the average American is paying the price. The fallout from this sticker shock surge is hitting wallets and changing lives. And for every big incentive or wild lease headline, there's another story of someone priced out, left behind, or forced to settle for less. That's the reality behind the cheapest cars of September 2025. Complaints about lease returns are piling up like never before. The numbers from the Better Business Bureau and the FTC show a steady climb in cases tied to surprise fees, last-minute charges, and outright confusion at the end of a lease. People who thought they had found a loophole in the new car price spiral, by leasing instead of buying, are now running headfirst into a wall of hidden costs. It's not just a few angry customers venting online. Lease-end grievances have become a flood, with consumer advocacy groups reporting record volumes of calls and emails about unexpected charges. Here's how it plays out. You sign for a low payment, drive for 2 or 3 years, and then brace for what's supposed to be a simple handoff. But the moment you show up at the dealership, the fine print comes alive. Document prep fees, mandatory inspections, and service charges appear out of nowhere. Some drivers report being hit with $400 to $1,200 in so-called maturity service fees, sometimes from third-party companies that sound official but have no real connection to your car's brand. A Jeep lessee in Arizona summed it up. Returning my Gladiator was harder than getting the deal in the first place. Every ding was a $300 charge. The real kicker? Most of these add-ons weren't mentioned up front. They're buried in the contract or hidden in vague language. Additional fees may apply. And when you push back, you're told it's standard practice. According to Mark Gillies at J.D. Power, automakers chased short-term wins, not consumer loyalty. The trust lost from axing real base models is immeasurable. That trust gap is now showing up at lease maturity, where every dollar squeezed out of a customer feels like another broken promise. Regulators have started to take notice. The FTC's new rules, rolling out this fall, require that all fees, every single one, be disclosed up front, not tacked on at the end. In Massachusetts, a new law demands that any recurring or one-time fee, even optional ones, must be highlighted in bold before you sign or even hand over your personal info. But for now, the gap between what's advertised and what's actually paid remains wide. For many, the real shock comes not at the beginning of the lease, but at the end. A BMW lessee in Florida said, "The lease was cheap. Returning it was a horror story." These aren't isolated stories. BBB complaints against lease facilitators and maturity services have surged over the past 18 months, with drivers blindsided by costs that wipe out half or more of their supposed savings. In some cases, out-of-pocket charges at lease return top $1,000 above what buyers expected. Dealers and finance managers know the game. Some even earn bonuses for selling lease-end add-ons. The system is set up to maximize every possible dollar, and the consumer is left to navigate a maze of paperwork, conflicting disclosures, and shifting rules. One former dealer manager admitted, "We had monthly fee-up targets. If you didn't hit them, you were out." At the heart of all this is a simple truth. The deals that look too good to be true often are. The average Joe, lured in by a headline lease payment, ends up paying the price when the contract runs out. The complaints, the legal fights, and the regulatory crackdowns all point to the same problem. What's promised at the start of a lease rarely matches what's delivered at the end. And with every new fee, every new complaint, the gap between they and us just keeps growing. There's a whole new battleground for cheap car deals, and it isn't gas, it's electric, and the numbers are jaw-dropping if you live in the right zip code. 3 electric vehicles stand out this month for lease payments that sound like a misprint. The Volkswagen ID.4 is being offered at $129 a month for 24 months, with just $2,499 due at signing. The Fiat 500e, a quirky little hatch, is $175 a month for 2 years, with $3,559 down. And the Hyundai Ioniq 5? $159 a month, $3,999 at signing, for 36 months. These aren't stripped-down, no-name cars. They're full-featured, with the latest tech and safety gear. But here's the catch. Almost all of these deals are only available in what the industry calls CARB states. California, Arizona, Nevada, and a handful of others where state-level electric vehicle incentives stack on top of the federal $7,500 credit. For some buyers, it's worth chasing. Maya, a teacher from Utah, drove to Las Vegas just to sign for the ID.4. The deal in Salt Lake was almost double, she says. "I spent an entire weekend sorting paperwork, but I'm saving over $2,000 a year." She's not alone. Dealers in Nevada and California are seeing out-of-state buyers flood in, all hunting for the lowest payment. What makes these offers possible is pure financial engineering. The dealer claims the federal tax credit, state rebates pile on, and the manufacturer chips in extra cash to clear aging inventory. Dealers admit they're not making money on these cars. "We're just trying to move metal," says one Volkswagen manager in San Diego. VW corporate wanted the numbers, so we're honoring every lease we can. But the deals aren't for everyone. Outside the CARB states, the same cars cost hundreds more per month. Some buyers report dealers refusing to honor online ads or adding surprise fees at signing. Others hit a wall with insurance. One ID4 lessee in Arizona saw her premium jump by $42 a month after switching from a gas SUV. Still, for those who can jump through the hoops, the math is real. Sub $180 a month for a brand new electric vehicle is possible, at least for now. But the fine print is always lurking, and the best deals are vanishing as fast as they appear. For every Maya who scores, there's someone else who misses the window by a day or a state line. The patchwork of incentives, the scramble for inventory, and the rush to clear lots before credits expire. It's a wild ride for the average buyer. And it's only getting wilder as September rolls on. Robert thought he had found the loophole. The ad screamed $0 a month for a brand new Honda Prologue. No monthly payments, just sign and drive. For a warehouse worker in Phoenix, it sounded like beating the system. He walked into the dealership ready for victory, checkbook in hand, expecting a simple $3,799 upfront and nothing more for 2 years. But the moment the paperwork hit the desk, the real numbers started stacking up. Security system? That's extra. Paint protection? Dealer says it's mandatory. By the time Robert finished signing, he was out more than $4,300, not the $3,799 from the ad. The dealer shrugged. Everyone adds something, it's just how it works. The fine print on the Prologue deal hides in plain sight. The $0 monthly payment is real, but only if you can pay thousands up front. Honda's throwing over $20,000 in lease cash at this car, desperate to clear EV stock before the federal tax credit expires. But even after the one-pay lease, the bills keep coming. Robert's insurance jumped by nearly $40 a month just for switching from his old CR-V to the Prologue. The agent blamed the high cost of EV repairs and the new model's untested risk profile. Then came the first utility bill after a week of charging at home, $98 higher than usual, thanks to peak hour rates no one at the dealership bothered to mention. By the end of the first month, Robert's free car was costing him about $180 a month when he added up the insurance, electricity, and dealer add-ons. The dream deal was just a puzzle, every piece with a price tag. They promised a zero-payment lease, but I'm paying more than my old car, he says. And if he goes over 20,000 miles in 2 years, every extra mile is another 25 cents. The real winners? The automaker, clearing inventory with a headline number, and the dealer, pocketing bonuses on every add-on. For buyers like Robert, the line between deal and trap gets thinner every year. The next hot offer, Hyundai's Ioniq 9, claims to be even better, but the lessons from the Prologue are hard to ignore. The Hyundai Ioniq 9 is the curveball nobody saw coming in the September lease wars. A full-size 3-row electric SUV with room for 7, launching straight into the heart of the family market. The numbers on this deal are eye-catching. $299 a month for 36 months, with $4,999 due at signing. That's not a stripped-down base model either. The Ioniq 9 comes loaded with advanced safety tech, a giant touchscreen, and the kind of warranty coverage Hyundai's known for. For families who outgrew small crossovers or tired of squeezing 3 kids into the back of a compact electric vehicle, this is a genuine alternative, one that just didn't exist a year ago. What's driving this offer isn't just Hyundai's push for market share. Dealers are sitting on fresh inventory, and the company's betting big on volume before federal and state incentives shrink. The $7,500 federal electric vehicle credit gets baked right into the lease math, plus extra dealer cash and regional rebates in places like California and New York. That's how a $55,000 SUV ends up with a payment that rivals a used minivan. One dealer in Los Angeles admitted, "We're not making money at this price, but Hyundai wants families in these cars before the tax credit changes. For buyers, the Ioniq 9 is a shot at electric vehicle practicality without sacrificing space or comfort. The third row isn't just a marketing line, it's usable, with enough legroom for teenagers or car seats. Charging times are quick, range is competitive, and insurance quotes, while higher than a gas SUV, have been more predictable than some rivals. Still, buyers need to watch the fine print. That $299 payment assumes you qualify for all incentives and live in a state where the full stack applies. Go outside those regions, and the numbers can jump fast. Some dealers are tacking on document or delivery fees, so the real upfront can edge past $5,500 if you're not careful. A family of 5 from Sacramento, the Lins, said the Ioniq 9 was the first time they felt an electric vehicle lease actually fit their lives. "We needed the space, and the payment was lower than our old Sienna," said Alex Lin. "But we had to fight for the deal. 3 dealers, 2 weeks, lots of paperwork." The Ioniq 9 deal is a lifeline for families priced out of luxury SUVs or tired of the endless hunt for a used minivan. But it's also a warning shot from Hyundai to the old guard. The days of $700 a month 3-row SUVs are numbered, at least while the incentives last. For anyone on the fence, this is the moment to act, because these deals are built on a mountain of credits and cash that won't be here forever. Next up, the price ladder keeps climbing. Luxury electric vehicles are trying to lure the same buyers with even bolder offers. The luxury badge used to mean paying a premium. Now, it's a bargaining chip for buyers who know where to look. 2 of the boldest plays in September's lease game come from Lexus and BMW, both desperate to hold their ground as electric vehicles flood the market and inventory piles up at high-end dealers. The Lexus RZ 300e, a fully electric SUV, is leasing for $389 a month, with just $1,999 due at signing. That's less upfront than some mass-market SUVs, and it's not a stripped model. This is a true luxury build, loaded with tech, real leather, and a full suite of driver assists. The secret? Lexus is inflating residual values and stacking manufacturer lease cash to keep payments low, betting that most cars will come back at lease end and go straight into certified pre-owned fleets. For shoppers who want a luxury experience without the usual pain, it's a rare window. One dealer in New Jersey admitted, "We're losing money on every RZ lease, but we'd rather move inventory now than get stuck when credits run out." BMW is fighting the same battle with the i4 eDrive 40, an electric sedan that's been slow to move as buyers chase SUVs. The numbers are sharp: $399 a month, $4,999 down, and you're in an electric vehicle with the badge, the performance, and the tech that built BMW's reputation. The catch? BMW's finance arm is pouring lease cash into these deals, and the high residual means you're only paying for 2 years of depreciation, not the car's real value. Some buyers are even flipping these cars at lease end, pocketing the difference if used values hold up. But the risk is real. If the market softens or electric vehicle demand drops, you're walking away from a car that might be worth less than the buyout. Tech-savvy buyers are watching these deals closely, using them to leapfrog into the latest models every few years while automakers shoulder the risk. The luxury lease war is a direct result of bloated inventories and the scramble to qualify every last car for federal and state credits before the rules change. For a few months at least, the power is in the buyer's hands. But as one industry analyst put it, these deals are built on borrowed time and borrowed money. If you've ever wanted to drive a luxury electric vehicle for less than the price of a loaded Camry, this is your moment. The next rung up the ladder? True luxury SUVs and flagship electric vehicles, where the numbers get even wilder. Cadillac and Mercedes are rolling out deals that would have sounded impossible just a year ago. The 2025 Cadillac Lyrique, a luxury electric SUV that launched to huge fanfare, is now leasing for $529 a month with $4,879 due at signing. That's less than what some buyers are paying for a loaded, gas-powered Explorer, and it's not because demand is off the charts. Dealers from Florida to California are sitting on LYRIC inventory that's aging out fast. Floor plan interest is stacking up, and Cadillac's corporate office is pushing volume, no matter the cost. One dealer in Miami put it bluntly, "We're not making money on these, we're just trying to keep the lights on." Mercedes isn't far behind. The EQB 250 Plus, a fully electric luxury SUV, is being offered at $249 a month for 36 months, with $4,843 due at signing. For a Mercedes, that number is almost hard to believe. But the story behind it is pure economics. Mercedes dealers are facing a glut of unsold EVs, and the only way out is to slash payments and hope buyers bite before the federal tax credit rules change. The manufacturer is stacking lease cash, inflating residuals, and letting dealers offload inventory at razor-thin margins. Tracy Cannon, an automotive finance analyst, says it best. Automakers are leveraging every available rebate, even ones originally intended for consumers, to move metal. It's a sign of desperation, not generosity. For buyers, this is a rare window. The LYRIC and EQB aren't base models. They're loaded, with real leather, advanced safety suites, and the kind of tech that used to cost a fortune. But the deals aren't everywhere. In some regions, especially outside the EV-friendly states, inventory is tighter and dealers less willing to play ball. Still, in hotspots like Southern California and South Florida, you can walk into a luxury showroom and leave with a Flagship EV for less than the price of a mainstream SUV. The catch, as always, is the fine print. Insurance on a LYRIC or EQB can be steep, and buyers report premiums jumping $30 to $60 a month compared to their old gas cars. Some dealers try to claw back profit with add-ons or documentation fees, so the real cost can creep up if you're not careful. But for the right shopper, this is as close as luxury EVs have come to affordable, at least until the next round of incentives dries up. As Tracy Cannon puts it, "Don't mistake these deals for kindness. It's the market forcing their hand." The luxury EV clearance is in full swing, and for once, the advantage is with the buyer. Next, as the EV dust settles, the spotlight turns back to gas and hybrid deals, where a new round of incentives is stirring up the market all over again. Not every deal in September's bargain bin is electric. If you're looking for a gas sedan, a pickup, or a plug-in hybrid, the numbers can still make your jaw drop if you know where to look and can live with the fine print. The 2025 Honda Accord, for example, is leasing for approximately $239 a month, with $3,699 due at signing. That's for 3 years, in California and Florida mostly, and it's not a stripped-down rental car spec. The Accord's still got a reputation for lasting longer than most jobs and outliving a few relationships. Dealers are moving them fast, trying to clear the last of the outgoing model before the next price hike. Trucks aren't off the table either. The 2025 Toyota Tacoma, a name that used to mean good luck finding one under $400 a month, is now popping up at $239 a month, $3,999 down, for 36 months in certain markets. That's a deal you'd expect from a leftover compact, not a truck with real resale value. But here's the catch. Inventory is tight, and some dealers are holding back trucks for higher-paying buyers. One dealer in Houston admitted, "We've got a waiting list, but if you show up with the advertised down payment, you're in." For those who want something in between, the 2025 Subaru Outback is showing up at $275 a month, $4,274 due, on outgoing models. That's a family hauler with all-wheel drive and a reputation for running forever, now cheaper to lease than a base compact SUV in some regions. Subaru dealers are clearing out old stock to make room for the next generation, and customers who time it right can get the best payment in years. A shopper in Portland said, "I never thought I'd get a new Outback for less than my old lease. It almost feels like cheating." Plug-in hybrid fans aren't left out. The 2025 Jeep Wrangler 4xe is on the board at $189 a month, $3,079 down. But there's a big asterisk, just 5,000 miles a year allowed. That's barely enough for a daily commute, and every extra mile is a $0.25 penalty. Still, for some, the math works. One anonymous lessee in Arizona summed it up. The deal was great until I tried to return it. Every little scratch was a $300 charge. I felt like I was paying for the whole car twice. And if you want to pick up with a twist, the Jeep Gladiator Mojave X Crew Cab is leasing at $259 a month, $2,529 down for 36 months. That's a real truck, not a crossover in disguise, but dealers are quick to remind you. Limited stock, strict credit, and you'd better read the mileage limits twice. These mainstream deals prove you don't have to go electric to find a headline payment, but the same games apply. Mileage caps, regional pricing, and dealer add-ons can turn a screaming deal into a slow bleed. For buyers willing to fight through the paperwork and push back on fees, the savings are real, at least until the next round of incentives reshuffles the deck. Next up, Toyota's cash rebates and hybrid specials are stirring up the market in their own way, and the details matter more than ever. Toyota's cashback playbook in September 2025 is turning heads, and for good reason. Up to $3,000 off on hybrids, plug-ins, and even some gas models. But here's the trick. These rebates aren't just handed out. They're layered, regional, and sometimes hidden in plain sight. The game is all about stacking, knowing which incentives overlap and which ones quietly cancel each other out. Take the 2025 RAV4 Hybrid. In California, there's $1,500 in national customer cash, plus a $1,000 regional bonus. And if you qualify, another $500 for recent college grads or military service. That's $3,000 off the top, cash in your pocket or shaved straight from the price. But the stacking rules are strict. Toyota lets you combine a cash rebate with a loyalty or conquest bonus, but not with the low APR financing. It's either the money now or the lower rate, never both. Dealers know this, but not every customer does. One shopper in Miami, Mark, found out the hard way. I thought I'd get cash back and the 0% rate. Turns out I had to choose. The fine print was buried in a footnote. The real power move? Cross-state shopping. Some buyers are registering cars in neighboring states to chase bigger rebates. For example, New Jersey's $2,000 state plug-in rebate can stack with Toyota's $1,500 national cash, but only if you register and insure the car in New Jersey. Dealers along the state line see it all the time. Buyers with out-of-state licenses, juggling paperwork, hoping to snag every last dollar. We had a guy from Philly drive across the bridge just for the rebate, says a Cherry Hill sales manager. He saved $1,700, but spent a Saturday at the DMV. J.D. Power analysts break it down. The best deals go to those who read the bulletins, not just the ads. Incentive stacking isn't just about the headline number. It's about timing, eligibility, and sometimes a little bit of luck. Toyota's loyalty and college grad bonuses can be combined with cash deals, but military rebates require proof and can get tangled in residency rules. And every region has its own quirks. What's available in Los Angeles might vanish the moment you cross into Nevada. The catch? Dealers don't always volunteer the best combination. Some push the deal that's easiest for them, not you. A shopper in Dallas, Priya, said, "I only got the extra $500 after showing them the regional offer on Toyota's website. Otherwise, they'd have kept it quiet." It's a chess match. Toyota sets the board, and buyers have to make the right moves. The rules change every month, and the best deals can disappear overnight when inventory dries up or a new incentive bulletin drops. For anyone willing to do the homework, the savings are real. But for everyone else, it's easy to leave money on the table. As one J.D. Power analyst put it, the system rewards the informed, not the casual. In the world of Toyota rebates, knowledge isn't just power, it's pure cash. In September 2025, the average price of a new car reached $46,111, a figure that marks a 17% rise in lease return complaints since 2023, according to FTC and BBB records. This documentary has shown how automakers shifted from affordable icons to profit-driven models, leaving ordinary buyers searching for relief in complex lease deals and short-lived incentives. We traced real offers, like a $129 per month Volkswagen ID4 lease in California and Honda's $3,799 one-pay Prologue, as well as hidden costs and regional barriers that complicate the savings. While experts agree these deals are the best seen in years, many questions remain about how long such incentives will last and whether true affordability will return. The documents and testimonies reveal a market at odds with its own history. For now, American drivers can still find bargains, but only if they know where to look, read every term, and act before the offers expire.